Hey there. Hi. It is pretty late. It's pretty late, but I really felt like I wanted to do this tonight. So, my name is Virginia. I am the author and blogger at virginiageorge.com. And this morning I watched a scope by Tabitha Filan of Inspired Bloggers Network, and she was talking about, and it's a principle I've heard before, about our own personal ceiling, about how we make limits for ourselves. Basically, we limit ourselves, and a lot of times, so by limiting ourselves, we're limiting our own success. And a lot of times, it's due to messages that we've heard from other people, or just things that we believe about ourselves. And so we have this roof, and in your business or in your personal life, whenever you start to get close to that roof, you're hitting the top, and you can't go any further. And for me, what that looks like is, I'm starting to get into a routine, and I'm starting to gain some traction in my writing or with my blog, and then I get too busy, or I find other things to do. Like, I run away from the opportunities that could really get me to where I want to go. And I think that's can be really true in a lot of situations in our lives. And so we have these expectations or these beliefs about ourselves that make it so that we can't go past that point. And so Tabitha this morning, she gave everybody homework, and the homework was to write down those things that you believe about yourself that are stopping you, that are keeping you from moving forward, and then to rewrite them into positive things, or to something else. And so tonight, I really wanted to do this tonight. I think I just wanted to, I've been thinking about it all day, and I really just kind of want to start tomorrow with all of these things behind me. So here's my list, and I doubt you'll be able to read it in this light, of why I don't succeed. So I'm going to be vulnerable here, and I'm going to read to you the reasons why I don't succeed. I'm lazy. I am undisciplined. I don't have enough influence. I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid of success. I don't have enough time. I fear rejection and judgment. I don't like routine. I don't have enough support, and I am depressed or overwhelmed. And all of these things are things that I've said about myself. Some of them may be things that I believe because somebody else may have said something to me, but in the end, these are all lies and all things that I have accepted as my truth. And they're not. They don't have to be. These are things that I've believed because I've allowed myself to believe them, because I've allowed the enemy to put those things into my brain and to keep me from being successful, to keep me from doing the things that God has called me to do, to keep me from, finishing a book. That I've got a couple of books I've been wanting to write or have had partially written, and these are the things that keep me from finishing. They're the things that keep me, that get me going down some rabbit trail on Google instead of sitting down and finishing my work. And it's time for these things to be a thing of the past. So here's my list. I'm going to fold it, and it's a little bit windy, so I'm a little worried about how this is going to go. But we have lots of snow. So here, these are all the reasons that I don't succeed. And it's windy. Perhaps the inside of my fireplace would have been a better place to do this. That would have been a smart idea, huh? I do have a fireplace. I was just thinking about being out in the snow. Here is my list of reasons for failure, or reasons that I don't succeed, that I don't follow through, that I don't allow God to be fully glorified in my life, in my ministry, in my work as a writer, in my life as a mother. All of these things hinder me from being who I can be, for being my best in all areas of my life. And so tonight we're going to torch these things. And instead of these things, we're almost done here. It's almost gone. Instead of these things, we'll let it burn out in the snow. I promise you there's snow. This so you can see it. There it is. And there it's gone. So now the challenge is to find something else to put in its place. Instead of feeling those things about myself, instead, and now I have a list of how I will succeed. There's a dog, must be outside. We're dog sitting. Okay, how I will succeed. I energetically pursue my passions. I create order in my life. My influence grows as my confidence grows. I live a life of peace, harmony, and faith in my Creator and God and my God-given abilities. I create time for what's important to me. People are drawn to my strength, peace, and love. I have all the support I need to create success, and I am strong enough to turn an obstacle into an asset. And I have this now on a page that I am going to punch and put in my planner, and just to be there for me to look at daily. I'll probably put a few of these up on my vision board, and maybe I'll do a scope later about writing a vision board and what mine includes and stuff. But these are the truths that I need to keep in front of me, and it's the same thing for you. So just as I was challenged this morning to look at the things that are limiting me, that limit me in my parenting, in my business, in my spiritual walk. All of these things are things that have limited me, or they have limited me in all of those areas. And instead of believing those things, now these are the truths that I'm going to hold on to, because these are from God. These are, God is not here to tear us down. And yes, He is. He requires things from us. He asks things of us. He, we can't just do whatever we want. He asks us to live apart, but He's not condemning. None of those things. God doesn't say, you nasty piece of trash. How could you have done that? And you're so lazy and stupid. God doesn't say that to you. God says things that lift you up, that encourage you, that build your spirit. And He corrects you. Or He corrects me, but He doesn't do it in a way that feels so burdensome and negative. And that's really something that I'm learning right now to let go of, is those feelings of condemnation and negativity in my heart, and just to know that if it's from God, that it's going to lift me up. It might be challenging, but it's going to lift me up. And so I challenge you. Now I pass the challenge on, I pass the homework on, to take a minute, and it really took me maybe 10 minutes just to sit down and really think about the things, just to be honest and say, what things are limiting me? What do I believe about myself that keeps me from being successful, that keeps me from fulfilling the things that God has for me? And then just write all those down, and then turn them into an affirmation, turn them into action, into positivity, into action of doing what you want to do and becoming who you want to be in order to pursue those things and in order to increase your potential. So tonight, I challenge you to raise your roof and change your limiting beliefs. Change those things and let God speak to you in new and different ways. So thank you, friends, and be blessed.